from the series Alien Adventures. Let's start. Chapter 1. Lost. Max and Kat were lost in the maze of the passages inside the pyramid. The Pyrite Panther had led them to the pyramid, but now they were on their own. Kat turned the corner and stopped. They had come to a crossroad. "Which way should we go?" she asked. "We'll never find Nock at that rate." Nock had been taken prisoner by the Minotaurs. He was somewhere inside the pyramid, as we had read before. Chapter 2. The Chase. Meanwhile... "Faster, Ant!" Tiger shouted. Crew 1 was rolling after them down the long, twisty passageway. Ant glanced over his shoulder. "We'll never outrun him," he said. "He's too fast!" Just then, there was a cranking noise up on the roof above them. Tiger looked up. "Uh-oh," he said, gulping. Hundreds of glistering diamond-like spikes hung above their heads. Suddenly, some of the spikes broke away from the ceiling. Tiger dodged them around, but the spikes stabbed into the ground in front of Ant. His path was blocked. Crow 1 was gaining fast. Ant quickly pressed the button on his watch and shrank. He squeezed between the spikes just in time. Crow 1 smashed into the wall of spikes. The vibrations from the crash caused more spikes to fall. They created a cage around him. "That will keep him busy for a while," said Ant. "Come on, let's find the others." Ant quickly grew back to normal size. Chapter 3. Stuck fast. "This is hopeless," Kat sighed. "It feels we've been walking round in circles forever." The path had led them onto a long, narrow passage that twisted and twirled round. They didn't seem to be getting any closer to finding Nock. "The path has come to an end soon," muttered Max. He tried to step forwards, but he couldn't lift his foot. Crystals were forming round his boots. "I can't move!" he yelled. "Me neither!" exclaimed Kat. Behind them was a loud grinding sound as the crystal walls slid apart. It was quickly followed by a rumbling noise. "Max!" wailed Kat. "I don't like this!" Max looked back and saw a gigantic ball covered in spikes, ruby spikes, rolling towards them. They were going to be squashed flat. Max tried to tug his leg free, but it was no good. The crystals had covered his boots. Just then, the ball was nearly upon them. Just then, Max had an idea. "Cat," he shouted, "use your power boots. We might be able to blast our way out of here." Max and Cat pushed their buttons on their suits. Max could feel the boots' power trying to force him off, but the crystals had formed a large shell around his feet. Max pulled his foot. He managed to wriggle it a bit. "It's working!" he yelled. He pulled harder, and the crystals cracked and burst apart. He shot into the air. Cat was behind him. They were blasted along the passageway. Cat looked back. She saw the spiky ball crunching over the crystals where they had been standing. "Someone really doesn't want us to make it through this pyramid," she said. Chapter 4. Crash. Ant and Tiger continued to run through the passages. They staggered to a halt at the crossroads. "Which way now?" Ant asked, breathing hard. "Let's try this way," Tiger said, pointing down a passage. "You can't run forever, 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 ever, ever," echoed a metallic voice. "Oh no," groaned Ant. He looked back to see Crow 1 close behind. Just then there was a rumbling noise in front of them. "Watch out!" cried Tiger. A massive ball covered in ruby spikes was rolling towards them. Ant and Tiger pressed themselves into a space in the wall. The ball thundered past. It crashed into Crew 1, sending him spinning backwards. That was close, Ant said, catching his breath. Look, there's a light up ahead, said Tiger. And then Tiger walked on. Chapter 5, Reunited. Max and Cat both landed and their power boots blinked out. Look, said Max, pointing to a bright light ahead of them. They made their way towards it. They came to a halt at the entrance to a giant chamber. We are glad to see you, said a voice on the other side of the passage. It was Tiger. The four friends grinned at each other. They peered into the chamber. Ruby cages hung from the ceiling. Each one held different treasures. Tiger looked up at a cage at the back of the chamber. He gasped. Inside the cage was Nook. Below him were two miniatures and their pyrite panthers. Let's find out what happens next in the Chamber of Treasures. Until next time, it was me, Mira. Bye-bye!
Switch off your telly.